All right, so today we are talking about how to help your parents design a beautiful space and lifestyle in their senior community. And with me today, I'm Tracy Wick. With me today is Andrea Batten. And Andrea's with Walton Wood in Royal Oak, right downtown, with the amenities of Royal Oak all around you. It's a fantastic place to be. And what we're going to talk about today is kind of the struggle that many seniors have when they're moving from a home that they may have lived in for many, many years. And then they're going to, let's say, a smaller space, a different space, and how to really design it so that it is comfortable, beautiful, and really inviting. So this is a little bit of information about the Tracy Wick property team. We have been in the real estate space for over 25 years, and I'm a consultant and a broker. I work together with Amanda, and we help seniors transition so that everything is seamless. We are seniors real estate specialists, so we have special training in working with that whole senior transition. And we have a team around ourselves that is every contractor that is needed in the process, from the photo archivist who will scan and digitize all of the family photos and then repackage them into maybe a digital picture frame or some kind of a slideshow that can be shown on a flat screen TV in the new space, just to invite and bring those family memories right into the space, to movers, handymen, painters, oh goodness, everything, landscapers. So we're here to help with those kind of transitions. And then I'm going to let Andrea introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea Batten. I am the marketing manager at Waltonwood Royal Oak, and I started my career in hospitality business first. I was a restaurant manager at Ford's Garage over in Dearborn, but have recently jumped into senior living and love it very much. I focus on helping families and their loved ones find the right fit for the resident at the community, whether that's the apartment and the view it needs or the level of care that we can provide here. I want to make sure that everything is perfect before you move in.
Perfect. Well, another thing that Andrea will talk about in this presentation is about how at Walton Wood, there's really a focus on the total wellness of the residents. And we're going to talk about how gardening and kind of farm to table kind of come in. And it's just a lot of activities and a lot of interests that can be combined to make a more rich lifestyle. So before we jump in, I just wanted to do one quick slide on what our seamlessly sold program is about. Our signature program involves seamlessly preparing and revamping and staging and selling homes. Often they are seniors' homes, seniors who have lived in the homes for 45 or 50 years and love them just the way that they were originally designed. Luckily, as we'll speak about later in the program, this new mix of vintage with new trendy items is incredibly popular amongst the millennials. And so we're going to steal some of their techniques to getting a real rich and fun living environment. And we're going to show you how to do that later. On our seamlessly estate management services side, we handle everything from evaluations, condition assessments, liquidation. We can handle estate sales, Facebook marketplace sales, everything that's needed to get the home prepared. And then on the real estate side, we handle professional staging. I am a certified home stager. We do professional photography that every home will look like it's in a magazine. And then, of course, we are marketing experts and we will get the property sold for the top price. So let's hop into the three main components on our on the table today. The first thing we're going to talk about when we come to how do we design our parent spaces is the actual space planning, because there are a lot of tips and tricks that we'll share with you that will make this transition easier for you and less perplexing and less, let me say, vexing. I recently went through this whole situation with my in laws that moved from their condominium into Glacier Hills in Ann Arbor. And I've been through every single step and I've probably made every mistake. So I can save you from all those hassles. We'll talk about best practices, what is trendy for the interior design, and everything will be very easy and affordable and implementable, will not be complex. Then we're going to talk about lifestyle and integrating lifestyle into a full, complete experience. So the residence will be beautiful, inviting, and functional. But then Andrea's going to talk about other lifestyle components that really round out the experience, and also how Waltonwood focuses on evolving care. So they really supplement what's needed for every resident as it's needed. So it fosters independence and just kind of a sense of well-being as time moves forward. So again, if anybody has any specific questions, please put them in the chat. And if you can mute yourselves, that would be fantastic, just because we want the audio to be good. Let me see. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're launching in. This is actually an outdoor view of Royal Oak Waltonwood, which is located right in the heart of Royal Oak. So Andrea will talk a little bit about how the residents are able to go to fun, amazing places I would like to go every week, which include the Royal Oak Farmers Market. Woo! I would love to go there. But let's talk about my two sections, and that is space planning for senior transition and how to create an appealing space. So the first thing we'll talk about is space planning and what are the steps to getting a usable space plan that will help you go from the residence, the long-term home, the homestead, into the senior community. There are four components that we need to be very aware of: scale, balance, focal point, and relationship. So first of all, what I'm showing you here are two floor plans from Waltonwood Royal Oak. And you're going to notice one thing right off the bat. It's not dimensional. You don't have the exact measurement of this wall. You don't have everything that you would need to really create the floor plan. But this is what you'll be given when you initially tour with Andrea. A plan like this, just to kind of show the flow and maybe the overall square footage of the unit. Now, what I want you to look at is, let me move this over a smidge. In this apartment, the way you enter is right through this door here. Then you have a closet here, and you can tell where the windows are. And then you're coming over here, and this is the bedroom space. Notice how you have two areas that you think might be suitable for the bed. Well, this one is the one that's usually chosen, but this little nook, as we move forward with talking about space planning, I want you to remember this nook. It has a wealth of opportunities. You can create it a little vanity space here for makeup, hair kind of thing, getting dressed. You can do an extra clothes rack and a small desk in this area. You can make a little sitting nook, reading nook. So remember little nooks like this, because it's the way that you can personalize the space to your parent who has a wide amount of interests but a small amount of space. So we want to prioritize the interest, and we want to create things that are using furniture that maybe is portable, movable, collapsible, because then you can shift and shape the space to fit whatever you're working on. So this is a peek at the dimensional floor plan that I was able to receive from the facilities department after my in-laws had committed to the exact apartment that they wanted to move into. You're going to notice the heating and AC registers are marked. Here is the key where the outlets are, the cable, and the phone outlet. Now, also, all these dimensions are written in, so they were field measured by the facilities director, and you can see where the doors are and how they swing. So, Andrea has her facilities manager provide something very similar to this. So, you would have this information. Now, why is this amount of detail necessary? If you would have placed everything on the other floor plan, number one, you don't know if the scale is right. And number two, you don't know where the outlets are. And this is one of the most important things on the plan that you need to make sure that you receive. So in their main living room here, their television could be connected in this location only. So that dictates how I'm going to place the sideboard that will support their flat screen television and how I created their furniture arrangement. Let's see here. As you can see, that's there, and the couch is very clearly measured, and I cut little Post-its to scale. I used a ruler, and everything is to scale. Then I was able to place my furniture on here. Notice here I'm floating a blue chair with ottoman, so the ottoman can be turned around here and used for an extra seat if there are more visitors there. And I've also included some collapsible chairs right here for a little kitchen table. And those can be brought around for if it's a birthday or something like that. So these are the to-dos when you are going to make sure that things are to scale for the new place. You're going to make sure you have the room in feet and inches. You're going to be able to place doors, door swings, windows, note all the outlets, and measure any openings to make sure, for instance, if there's a large lazy boy recliner or something, will it even fit in through the doorways? These are things to be noting. Now, when you're shopping, you can do scale, measure scale in a few different ways. You can measure the furnishings, and mostly online, they will show you the depth, the width, and the height of every piece. Even if you're shopping on Facebook Marketplace, all sellers put those dimensions because it's the first thing a buyer wants to know. So you're going to have the measurements, and then you can either cut out little stickies like I did to scale and arrange them. That's how we found out the sectional would not fit in the living room, that there would not be enough room to walk by it. So we went to plan B, which was the favorite love seat. You'll do the same thing. But another thing to do, if you're in the space and you've thought to make newspaper cutouts to scale, you can bring a bag full of newspaper cutouts, go in the space, arrange everything just to double check yourself. And the other high tech way is you can use an integrated app when you're shopping. So Wayfair has an app, and if you want to take pictures of the spaces, it will actually cut and paste and put the couch in the room. So you can see how the color is with the paint color and things like that. So that's pretty new techie way to do it. These photos are showing you scale. So it's demonstrating here. These are not overly stuffed chairs with large rounded club kind of dimensions. They're fitting the space nicely. And this little table here just fits perfectly between. So coffee, tea, wine, books, magazines, everything can be placed right there. And this other photo is trying to demonstrate how you can create multifunctional pieces. This can be a day bed if someone is going to stay over, or it can be a little spot where the grandnephew or the grandson takes his nap if he's visiting, or if you're reading a book and you want to relax. It's multi purpose. So look for those things as well. I highly recommend Fred's website and write this down if you want a complete course practically on room arranging and furniture groupings. It's the best site I've been to really break everything down. This is just one illustration that shows you how to maintain balance in a room. This shows two couches of the same dimensions and a coffee table between. But look how interesting when there's a couch, coffee table, and two chairs with the little table. That also is very harmonious. So, no matter how you lay things out, try to look for symmetry as this illustrates. These are a couple of views. Here they did four chairs around a coffee table. And on this one, you see they did the two kind of linear chairs lined up across from the more modern sofa. And that works as well. Now, another thing that all designers aim for is to have a focal point in the room. Obviously, not all senior living apartments have a fireplace. I have yet to really see too many. So, what are we going to do to create a focal point? Well, we can use artwork like two beautiful frame pictures that sets a tone, a color palette for the space. Or look at this one here. It is so large and so full of color. And then you can pick up the purple for the pillows. And it's as dramatic, if not more so, than a fireplace. So I would say stretch to think about a focal point that will be meaningful. Some people do a big wall of photos, family photos, but that can be cumbersome because you're hanging them up. And I don't know if you've tried this at your own house, but the frames that you have the pictures in don't all go together, or one is deeper, and it's hard to space them. So, one designer trick is take them out of the frames, scan the photos, and then upload them to make custom wallpaper. And that's removable, it's temporary, but you can put that up and create a feature wall. And then it's flat, you won't be hitting pictures or bumping them or making them uneven. Another designer trick is to float the furniture. I love this photo because it's showing how to do that. Here are the two armchairs away from the wall, letting the sunlight pour into the space, letting traffic circulate around the space. But I love the way this bench is floated right behind the couch. That would normally be wasted space, but they put a little bench and a little picture, or I can't really tell if it's a picture or not. What I've seen and I love is when there's a small secretary desk behind the sofa. We're used to a console table. That's a beautiful idea as well. But how about adding in another little purpose where you could write a note, set up your iPad, do something like that, make the room multifunctional, and look how much space it takes, maybe 18 inches. So that's an idea of how to do it. Floating furniture accomplishes many things. It gives a more designer look, but it gives more function and flow to the room. Here shows floating the chairs. Here again, floating. You don't want things lined up around the edges of the room because it's very uninviting. So, some other tips and tricks, Utilize area rugs if you want to define a smaller space. Use angling, floating, and find an amazing coffee table because that can become really a focal point in the room as well. And remember to use the space behind a piece of furniture for a multi-purpose. All right, now we're moving into more the designing of the space. And choosing a cohesive color palette is super important. I know Andrea's team gives every residence a beautiful neutral background. And if they wish to change it, they can. But they start you off with a beautiful neutral, and it's warm, and it's one of the most popular colors because you track these things. So I just wanted to show you on the Benjamin Moore website, they have a wonderful tool. And if you select the neutrals, look at the spectrum. These are all paint chips within the neutral family. And it might be surprising to some people that golds and greens and navies are also considered neutrals. This color here is called salt, and it's one of the most popular colors. It's like a sea salt, and it really evokes kind of a seaside feeling and is very soothing. I would love that in a spa. I would love to just go to the spa. Then we have these are the most popular colors that we're seeing from Benjamin Moore. Here's what you're noticing: grayish, the pops of yellow, the nautical blue, and the grays, and then that putty oatmeal color. But over here, I want to draw your attention to this bright ochre, beautiful yellow. The Pantone colors of the year are this yellow and gray. This is picking up that same idea. And look at this. This is the gray. So if you want to know what's hot right now and you want to do what I was describing earlier as the grand millennial style, that's really illustrated by this, using traditional pieces that you already have and mixing in a flavor, a style to make something completely new. And then we have over here, bold light fixtures. Now at Waltonwood, they already have some integrated light fixtures that are similar to this. So what I would say in that case is echo the design in your side lamps, in your table lamps and your floor lamps, just to bring the whole look together. Another thing that's very hot right now, cozy nests, cuddling up with those beautiful faux blankets. And also remember that you can use outdoor furniture indoors. And that's a hot trend right now. You're seeing these kind of rattan, woven furniture. It gives small spaces a lot of presence and flexibility. They're super lightweight. I could even move this around, um, but also very natural and welcoming. So think about that, and earthy, natural vibes, exposed wood, things like that, very popular. We're noticing those brought into small little side tables that almost look like they're carved out of a log, and that'll bring that wood feeling into the space. As an accent color, blue is the one of the hues of like a pop of color. And another thing we're noticing very hot is to create what we're calling a Zoom wall. And notice how the senior's laptop or tablet or webcam would be on the desk. Think about what is behind that desk and accessorize it with favorite collections, books, a travel souvenir from a trip to Belgium, what have you, and some beautiful art. Because Then every time that grandma or grandpa is on a Zoom with the family, it's just so inviting and they look fantastic. And if you look fantastic, you usually feel fantastic. The other thing is plants are very hot right now. So you're going to see a lot of greenery. And this is super easy to integrate into a design. I want to point you to two bloggers that if you still say, wow, I don't know what kind of new home design I would want to bring into the space to jazz it up. These two gals will point you in the right direction and give you a lot of great ideas. Sensational Style is the first blog, and that's by blogger Kate. And look what at these things that she's done. She's combined the yellow, and here's your pop of blue. She has natural coming through on the wood slats of the little bar cart. And this is the vignette she's put together. And here's your greenery. Here she's using succulents and personal photos to really style that space. So if you follow her blog, she brings you in on all of her renovation projects and styles them so you can see what she's doing. My other favorite blogger is Sarah. She helped me with a project at my house. Her blog is called The Yellow Cape Cod. And if you go to her website, this is an example of a design board that she put together for one of her clients. She also does e-design. So if you would provide her with the dimensional drawing from Andrea that shows where the outlets are, where everything is, and pictures of the items, the furniture that you want to move into the space, and then your parents' preferences. Are they kind of sassy and would go with a leopard accent? Are they more nautical? What is the style you kind of go for? She'll pull together a board like this that gives you all of the links to purchase all the accessories and everything. And you can just Amazon everything, go to Pottery Barn, wherever she directs you. Everything comes to your house. And then on move in day, you just take it and set it up. So very, very easy way to get a gorgeous space and very affordable. Her tagline is design for everyday people. So just for the day to day for your own home, it doesn't have to be chintz this or, really, really expensive. Just has to suit your lifestyle. She recommends keeping a little design journal on Pinterest or House by starting a new board and adding the things that you like. To me, going to another website is a lot. It's just a lot. I don't want to maintain another site or have to organize things like that. But you can also just take pictures with your phone, put them in a shared album, and you can share them with your parents or show them to your parents when you see him or her and say, hey, what do you think about this lamp? I thought it'd be so cute in your living space. So, whatever works for you, just make it easy. Here's some ideas and some words if you're Googling and you want to bring up different design ideas that are in right now. So romantic chic, coastal preppy, that's kind of getting towards that salt color that we looked at. And that kind of vibe, almost Charleston a little bit. Then you've got modern industrial, that's a little bit edgy. Farmhouse, obviously. Boho is one of my favorites because it brings in the greenery, the natural woods, woven textiles, the pillows that have kind of like fluffy fringe and the tassels on the end. That's all boho. But one trip to you know, one of our places that we love to shop, and you can really get a long way with your design. This is showing you how we use our greenery. Oops, go back. We have our own staging inventory. We're now up to 2 storage units. And this is showing you some of our greenery that we integrate into our homes. And so we'll bring baskets and the greenery and we will make the home that we're selling look fresh, and we'll reflect all of these hot trends. We buy all the pillows, we buy all the area rugs, and all of those things to make that grand millennial style in the seniors home, so we can appeal to the broadest spectrum of the market, which is first time home buyers, professional couples, young families. We don't just want seniors to buy other seniors homes. So this is showing you a very cute way that if you wanted to create a wall of separation, I saw this at IKEA, and they just did a 2x2 with little hooks and a twine hanging down, and they tied on the tumbling ivies. I just thought that was so cute. And then here we're talking quickly about what kind of indoor foliage does not die. And Amanda is very good at plants. And she's put this together for us so that we can pick plants that we can actually keep alive. And this is a quick guide of where to buy the plants. So later on, we're going to mention, but feel free to pop in the chat if you would like us to provide you with the what kind of foliage doesn't die easily, and our favorite places that we like to shop, just so you can have those as a reference. Just pop in the chat yes, and we will make sure we send those to you after the program. All right, so just to recap, we talked about space planning, best practices, how to group the furniture, how to create a focal point, and then we also talked about creating an appealing space by combining old and new, using a cohesive color palette, on trend accents in art, how to maybe hire outside help if we might want that, how to follow a blogger, and how to add greenery. Now we're going to slide right into Andrea's portion, and she's going to talk to us about Walton Wood Royal Oak and all those other elements that they provide that kind of create a very enriched lifestyle and more of the whole picture.
Thank you. Now that Tracy has so expertly gone over how you can design your loved one's space at Walton Wood, here are all the other things they can enjoy. So we at Walton Wood Royal Oak really value our residents' lifestyles and what they enjoyed before they came to the community. And we want to be able to encourage all of those activities to continue to happen. We value independence, and we are here to assist for things that they no longer want to do or no longer can do safely. So the entirety of our staff, including our life enrichment team, really do love getting to know all of the residents. We have about 80 apartments, and right now we know every resident that currently lives in the building. We know their families. We know what they wanted to do when they grew up and if they achieved that goal. The other really nice thing about the community is, besides our activities, we also do have that shuttle. So Tracy was mentioning where we're located. We are located on 13 Mile and Woodward. We're right across from Beaumont Hospital. So we have a shuttle for our residents to use that can take them anywhere within 10 miles of the community. And with our location, that's a lot of places. So our activities are scheduled out 7 days a week. They range from religious services to painting and other crafts, trivia. Now that we've opened back up more from COVID, we're bringing in live music again, card games, bingo, and so many more. But the one that I would like to focus on is, if the slide will switch, please. Our special interest activities. So since it is the summertime and the weather is warmer, we have our gardening club that meets bi-weekly. It is resident-led. It goes throughout the entire planting season, and this changes every year. So pictured here is our environmental service manager, Derek. He would also be the one that would be getting you the detailed floor plan with where the outlets are, all the measurements of the rooms. He is the one that I send in to measure all of them. He loves me for it. And then you see him here helping one of our residents get our plantings ready. So this year we chose to plant cherry tomatoes, bell peppers, and then a few different other herbs. And sometimes it's what we were planting this year, sometimes it's flowers. I'm told last year the residents really wanted to grow potatoes, so we did potatoes. It is all up to the residents and what they want to grow. So the two pictures on the left are the start of the season. So you can see here that we've got our kind of plantlings going before they are headed outside, because this does start before Michigan is truly warm. So we've got some going in pots, others going in painted teacups. Residents did paint those teacups when we had a tea party day. So that was a part of another life enrichment craft. And then when we do go to plant them outside, they are planted in the raised beds, which just really helps out all of our residents who may want to be able to participate, that may not want to do the bending or can't bend to get down to a garden on a ground level. The bottom picture is not from this year. The bottom picture is when we're getting closer to harvesting. So we've got some basil growing, either then tomatoes or green beans there as well. So that is what they will look like at the end of the year. Then we get into the end of planting season and what happens. So we have a gardening club harvest where the residents help harvest any of the veggies and herbs that they've grown. And then all of that is used in our Waltonwood kitchen. So outside of just the gardening club, Waltonwood focuses on fresh and healthy food. We have committed to this, which means we are sourcing from local farms in the area, fresh, never frozen food. We even have gone all the way down to making all of our own sauces in-house. So you are getting the best quality food possible here at Waltonwood Royal Oak. And then focusing on wellness as a whole. Things we do for our residents are providing lots of opportunities for exercise, and this is exercise on a lot of different levels. So we have our morning fitness class, which is a sit and fit, so not a hardcore exercise right in the morning, just a nice stretch. Our Forever Fit coordinator comes in. She is a personal trainer specifically for seniors. She'll work with anyone one-on-one as well as do group classes. Then our walking club does go out into the community that surrounds us, either the subdivision right behind us or right across the street to Woodward Corners. Any resident that would like to go is more than welcome, and staff will walk with them. It's a pretty nice walk most days. Nutrition, back to our Fresh Focus commitment. We offer 3 balanced and healthy meals a day. We're able to accommodate any dietary needs, whether that is on a texture level or just on a preference level. Anything that our residents come to us with, we will do. There are plenty of options for meals as well. So then moving into our assistance with daily living activities, this is where it gets so personalized for residents, whether they are still completely independent and just want to move in because they don't want to do the cooking and the cleaning anymore, all the way down to a resident that may need help with showers and transferring from a bed to a chair. We are here to help with anything they may need, but we are still encouraging residents to be as independent as possible. And then our caring staff. So yes, senior living communities have been hit hard with the pandemic, but we are very fortunate that we retained so many of our amazing staff members. A lot of them have been with the company for 5+ years. We have our head housekeeper who has been here since the building opened 22 years ago. So we know what we're doing. And this is just a slide with some of our reviews to really let that speak for themselves. It's not just me saying all these nice marketing things. It really is felt by our residents and their families leaving reviews. There are some people saying that they wouldn't want to have taken their loved one anywhere else. And that speaks volumes about the community as a whole. So if you would like to come see the community in person, so I can show you more than what was able to be put on these slides, this is my contact information, the phone number, and my email. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to be able to have you in and show you around at whatever time would work best for you.